Today's Friday, August 30th. After being sliced in the wrist while taking out the trash, and as I caught the bottom of the trash, and in essence, in trading language, catching a falling knife, I realized the 2 weeks of vacation that I had, I discovered that my familiarity with the UJ and the lack of positive results were due to the fact that when UJ is trending down, especially, I would be in a state of chasing the reversal instead of instead of instead of uh, following the trend, taking advantage of the trend, and I would get confused because what UJ would do is it'll trend down, it'll pull back, and that pullback would confuse me, thinking that that would be a major trend reversal. So for the past uh, 2 weeks before the vacation started, I was chasing it. I was catching it over and over and over again, and essentially stopping the momentum that I had. And after essentially 2 weeks of taking a vacation from day trading and essentially just relying on demo trading and completely removing the emotion from the involvement and having the need to to uh, to essentially force a winning situation, and taking a break from that seems to have given me some clarity on what I need to do this following week, and on and on. So I've discovered that the primary reason that I have been in severe drawdown for 2 weeks prior to being on this financial vacation is that it is essentially it is essentially attempting to catch a falling knife. The reason why somebody catches a falling knife is thinking of a reversal trend. It's a reversal. I'm thinking it's fundamentally it's a major trend reversal. And I saw this Titans of Traders or something like that tomorrow. Titans of Tomorrow, and uh, these like seven-figure traders were discussing this, and one of the well-known individual whose name is Q Banks, he said this. He said that most people attempt to trade off of reversals, but most of the time, most of the time, these securities actually trend. And so what I'm attempting to do is take that small bit of instances in which the movements occur, where reversals occur, and attempting to take profit on that instead of trading off of something that is happening most of the time, which is essentially trending. It's going from here to here to there. So what I'm looking forward now that I have gained some clarity on what I was doing prior to being on this vacation is that I was so focused on attempting to nail it. Essentially, that's what I was doing. I was essentially attempting to nail the entry, trying to get in at the positive at the highly likelihood of that trend not being complete, and expecting and essentially getting a deep cut from this from catching a falling knife. Essentially, that's what I've been doing. And so that's what happens when any trading that I do, that suffers a heavy loss. Essentially, that's what I'm doing because I'm missing the fact that it is the trend has not completed, and I'm attempting to fit my thinking into the market that has not finished yet, and attempting to ride the reversal up, and that essentially is can be a very very deep penetration into my wrist and also my bank account essentially. So I told a trading buddy of mine when he asked me, "Hey, are you ready?" And 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 of course the answer is yup. Of course I am, but we'll see how that works. And I also heard from these professionals there, and based on the demo that I have, is that uh, the results of my demo essentially the demo is essentially a 10K account, and I brought it up to essentially 3148. So so there's essentially nothing different about this demo account. So if I look here, essentially, uh, there's essentially nothing different about essentially there's nothing different about the demo that I was trading for the past 2 weeks to the actual challenge itself. And the fact that I was able to make approximately within 2 weeks 31%, 31% of that 10K account is essentially depicting a scenario where it is going to be a breakout. It is possible to have a breakout purely removed of emotion, right? So I'm looking to use this as a springboard to really break out now. It's day trading language is breakout. Essentially, it's a breakout, right? So, and I extrapolated it. So if I have a 10K account with a with a 31%, it means that if I have a essentially if I have a 100K account, that is essentially a 31K within 2 weeks. Okay, 31K. Although the rules actually, um, and still within the bounds of prop firm rules. And then when I get to the point where I'm at a 200K prop firm challenge, prop firm funded account, that means that all I have to, so I'm looking at about a 60K, and I'm seeing these numbers so that professional day traders throw out in their YouTube channels, and they're aligning. They are essentially aligning with what they're doing. And so I'm seeing results and the possibility of when I scale up to the point where it matches what the professional day traders are profiting. The results of the professional from traders can, is visible based on the results that I have. And so I have to be it's always a challenge to work on these things, which is the first thing is stop loss. The second one is making sure that I'm in alignment with the market, what the trend is occurring, and not catch a falling knife. And then also at the right moment, scale in when the situation is right to take advantage of that alignment that I have with the market. So I'm looking forward to uh, next week when the market opens and I have the funds ready to take on the 5K challenge first. Even though it's itching and it's so tempting to move towards higher increments, denominations, but it is wiser for me to prove it out on an actual count and then make it work before moving forward. Because I was thinking about this a couple days ago, and I'm thinking, okay, so the first steps of approving something out at a lower denomination, like the 5K, on a consistent basis, it directly translates into the success at a higher denomination. It means that once I succeed at the 5K, that means transitioning into the 10K is going to be much, much easier uh, as I have ironed out the issues that have been prolonging my challenge success. The inability of making my challenges succeed, prolonging that. So once I figure that out, and then and progress and become a funded and obtain a payout in the 5K, that means that if I were to adjust to a higher denomination, the success rate will be higher and the cost will be far, far less. And then once I reach the third level, which is essentially skipping the 25K and moving up to the 50K, when I move to the 50K, that becomes a significant amount as as is given here. So essentially, within 2 weeks, we're talking about at a 10K, that's about 3,000. Multiply that by five, that's about 15K within 2 weeks. So the possibility and and the reality of the benefits of utilizing the prop firms to 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 essentially to essentially um, to essentially extract, earn, and to build my personal account is is essentially a very, very possible scenario.